Hello.
Hi, hello. Welcome to...
Welcome back.
Media Hall. No, well...
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, I mean, if you came from our last episode, then welcome back. If you didn't, welcome.
Welcome
There you
to
go.
Media Hovel.
Welcome to Media Hovel.
So, if you did or you didn't, doesn't matter. We're gonna say what this episode's about. This is gonna be a hard one.
This is gonna be tough. Listen. Before we start, because I can't even talk because how frustrated the topic. Like it's just when I think of it,
we're gonna get in there. We're gonna maybe. No, we're not going to get political, but we're going to make some talk. We're going to make some comments about society.
Let's just make conversation. We're
making conversation.
We're making conversation today.
This is going to be not darker, but we're gonna look at something interesting. So today we're doing
we're going to be talking about the whole documentary Framing Britney Spears,
presented by the New York Times. It's on Hulu. It came out February 5th of this year, so very recent. It's episode 6 in the series. Now, originally, we weren't going to do this. We were going to do another documentary, which we're going to do later, but that's not important right now. But we watched it last night after we finished our Paradise Killer thing, and Mauricio's boyfriend was... first I was like, can we just watch it? Because I really wanted to watch it.
Oh, no, honestly, no, we did. Because
we did.
We were talking about it because, don't get me wrong, everybody's saying, oh my God, and,
we grew up on Britney. We grew up on Britney's music.
So Baby One More Time, and,
Circus.
What else? Circus.
I was listening to Piece of Me in the car earlier. That's a good song.
Oh my God.
We were that generation
Stronger,
that had Britney.
Boys. Oh my God. Boys. And then... Oh my God,
Boys.
Boys.
I did it again. I had the game for the PlayStation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we were like, we should watch this because we grew up on Britney and we were just gonna watch it and see it. And Mauricio's boyfriend's like, well, why don't you do this? And we're like, you know what? Let's do this.
We're just gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk about the situation and
intense.
the documentary. So
Britney Spears, the most.
Idol.
She has a lot of I love Britney Spears. She's an idol.
She came out on the scene.
She's amazing.
Listen, it's mentioned in the documentary, when she hit the scene, it was the boy bands.
Oh, no,
boy bands were the
she
thing.
She really made, her stomp.
And she was, this pop princess. She busted into the scene. She was, all-American sweet girl.
But she kept on having this, but what I loved about her is, her movement. When I thought about it, and, really, now, okay, I am 25 years old. Seeing it back, her videos were straight up about mostly empowerment. Yes, she showed her body, whatever. I feel at that age, at her, think about also her age. Wouldn't you think that she dresses, sexy and, dresses beautiful, that stereotype of thing?
She's dressing revealing, but everyone's like, oh my God. But I need your phone real quick. That's why I pointed at it. She dressed how she dressed. She was getting older, too. She started off really young. She was on, the Mickey Mouse Club when she was a kid. But when she started, dressing sexy, she was of that age. And, everyone gave her so much crap for it. So, that is mentioned. But the biggest thing that leads up... they talk about all that, and we're going to talk about all that. But what leads to the reason they made this is that Britney Spears is currently in a conservatorship right now. So, a conservatorship is a legal concept in the United States. A guardian or a protector is appointed by a judge to manage the financial affairs and or daily life to another due to physical or mental limitations or old age. Now, Britney is in one of these with her father, James Spears. And people have been saying for so long that she doesn't want to be in this anymore. Sorry, I forgot to look something up, and I'm looking it up real quick. She does not want to be in this conservatorship with her father. She's scared of her father. And, no one's listening to her. So, New York Times came out with this documentary. And we talk about everything that leads her to where she is now. But to me, this is scary. She can't make... I think I think they took some financial decisions off, but he controls her daily life.
You know what's scary? No. Let's hold on. What's scary, and how the fucking hell... They're literally controlling her freaking entire life. They're controlling her medical records, what she can, medical-wise.
Yeah.
Her liberty of being, what she can post on social media. Her, record career, her money, her estate. They control everything. What the fuck? What I don't understand is that this is a functioning girl. Well, yeah, okay, I understand the conservatorship in the beginning because, yeah, she was a young girl. She could have been used and all that. But don't you think, like, in that kind of sense, wouldn't you, like, okay, start evaluating her and be like, okay, maybe we should start letting her go because she's being an adult, she's being more, like, wiser?
She needs to learn how to be on her own. And, like, yeah, she's been through a lot, which we're gonna get into. She's been through a lot. She's been through a lot of stuff. And, of course, she needs help with things, but we're not, we're not gonna diagnose her or anything, but it's clear she needs help. And they're not giving her that help. She's just alone.
It's just
how I see it. She's alone. She needs help. And it just seems from what they present in the documentary, obviously, like, this is what they present. It seems that her father is taking advantage of her.
He just wants the money.
He wants the money, and she doesn't like it, and she wants out.
And it's not even the fact that she, like, it's portraying that he wants the money. He even said it, that he literally wanted a raise.
Yeah, he gets like 1.5% of something. Like, I forgot exactly what it was.
Fuck, like, are you kidding me? Like, he gets a percentage of all that.
He controls all her money. I keep forgetting, which if you want to look it up real quick, I feel like they either presented he loses financial control or he has financial control, or if it's the other way around, if he doesn't control her daily life, but he can control her finances. I think it's that. He has control over her finances, but as of the documentary, he doesn't have control of her daily life anymore. I might be wrong on that.
I can't even speak. Like, that's how freaking, like, how frustrated I am with all this situation. Because it's like, this woman is a functioning woman. Like, she has 2 kids. Like, the whole situation was it. Like, I think, like, and even me and Devin, we talked about it. Like, I feel like she really just, when she had her first baby, she really hit that postpartum depression.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that really just really, like, hit her hardcore is that all these freaking paparazzis would never leave her alone. She is just at that point, she was just a mother who wanted just to be with her son and just enjoy time with her son, her newborn son, if not. Like, it was just a baby.
We're going to get into that. Let's go in order. Yeah. So, just look that up real quick. Yeah, on February 11th, so this is a little bit after the documentary came out, the judge declared that Jamie will no longer be the sole conservator of her finances. Instead, he will retain 50% control. So he doesn't have full control, but he still has that control. But they haven't taken him completely off yet. But there's more, like I said, there's more to this than this conservatorship. But that's a big thing driving this documentary, is that specific thing.
No, but I think it's also because of him too. Because didn't you even remember the whole part? Even the one girl, I don't remember her name. The one with she had the red top on, the really curly black hair. She even said it right there in the documentary that he only cared about the money, and he literally, like, the only thing that she said was like, oh, that when my daughter, she grows up, that she's gonna buy me a yacht, like, when she gets all that money. Like, that's all that he cared about was the money. That woman's
name was, I remember her name being Kim. I don't remember what she did. But yeah, I remember her saying that. So yeah, but it opens with, she was a little girl. She lived in Louisiana. Little middle nowhere. It's called Kentwood, Louisiana. And she loved singing. She was very talented.
She was part of the choir.
She was part of the choir in church. And the thing is, they open, I don't know what the name of the show is. They don't present it. But she's on this show and she sings. And this is where we're really opening to the door to other things we're going to talk about in this documentary. The old man's sister, when she's little, that she has such pretty eyes, and he's like, do you have a boyfriend? And she says, no, they're mean. And she's a little girl, like, you know what I mean? She's like, no, they're mean. And he's like, well, I'm not mean. And that was so uncomfortable.
That just made
he was
cringe
so like,
hardcore.
He's an old man, she's a little girl, and he's like, I'm not mean, what about me? And she goes, oh, it depends. Like, why would you ask a little girl that? Like, that's
just a little girl. Like,
it's a little girl. You don't ask that.
And it's not even, that was what pisses me off. It's like, again, like, even one of the women that she was, like, being interviewed in the thing, they said, like, what the hell? Like, why would you ask a little girl, out of all things, about having a boyfriend or having a relationship? Like, why does that matter to you in general, first off? And secondly, she has so much talent. She has so much else than just, like, her relationship. Like, what the hell?
So, yeah, so that happened. We just felt like we should mention that. And then, they talk about how she went to New York. Her family was really struggling for money. She was talented. They wanted to get her out there. She went to New York. She got on the Mickey Mouse Club. She did that. She went back to Kentwood, did 2 years of high school, and then she just started pushing her way back in. She was going to malls and performing in the malls, and she would perform Hit Me Baby One More Time. And then as she went to these mall tours, she got more popular. And then, she made the music video. And I don't remember who exactly said this, but I like the way they described it. They said that she has, like, you know, the schoolgirl outfit on, she's dancing in the hallways, and they said she has that vibe of, like, the popular girl that you idolize, but at the end of the day, she wants what you want. She can relate to you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what how they were drawn to Britney. Like, you know, she's this pop princess, but, like, at the end of the day, she's just a girl from Louisiana. You know, she didn't grow up famous. She's from Kentwood, Louisiana. She's a hometown girl, and she just has this amazing talent, but she can relate to you. So that's, like, what drew people to her. And then, like, you know, her music was really good. Us were fans. But, like, a lot of people liked her. She was charming, but then I feel like it started when she went and started dating Justin Timberlake.
No, I feel like no.
I feel like it really yes it did.
I think it even started even way less than that.
When it went downhill.
No, I think no. Downhill? I feel like it started way before, when they started just, like, constantly sexualizing her and just thinking about, like, how she started looking at that. Then when she started dating Justin Timberlake, then that's when they really hit.
Yeah, they asked if she was a virgin.
Like, what?
They asked if her boobs were real. Like
why? Like, why would you ask a woman that?
Why would you ask that?
That's
she's trying to be like, like, she's trying to be, like, nice, but you can see she's not comfortable.
But the fact that made me worse is, like, the audience and, like, the people interviewing Britney, like, they just encouraged that.
They encouraged
so then it just made Britney be more awkward and more uncomfortable.
She said she wants to wait till marriage for the virgin question. Then the breast thing, they didn't play it in the documentary, but she kind of went, my breast, and laughed, and that's how they ended it there. But then, you know, like we said, she dresses provocative, but people were like, oh, well, she's not, like, she's a slut. Like, it's basically what they were saying. She has to be, like, a whore and has to mess around because she dresses provocative. And the thing is, it's like, she never really, how do I say this? She always was, like, sexy, but she was never, like, that was all her thing. Like, she just dressed sexy. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, they try to be like, you're the good girl, and, like, there's no reason for her to be anything. She could be what she wants.
Let me ask
They want her to be the hometown girl. All-American girl.
Let's put this aside. Like, let's say that okay, so now I'm going to put this there because, like, I just even want to even give you guys, like, the thought, like, the moment to think right now. Let's not, like, okay, even you, Devin, take her career out. Like, let's say that she can't sing, she can't dance, she can't anything. If you were her, wouldn't you do the same thing? You dress sexy because you want to feel confident. You want to feel that. You want to feel empowered.
If that's what you like.
That's what you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know not everyone wants to dress sexy, but if you want to dress sexy and you're of age, she was like. I know when she started, she was young, but by this time she was like 18.
But at the same time, but not even that. But, like, think about it this way. Like, and I even thought about it this way. It's like, she's just a human being who's just basically, and everybody says that she's so humble. She's so, like, down to earth. Yeah. So I would understand, honestly, right there and then, if you literally were, like, just a humble, like, girl from a small town in, like, Louisiana, just being like, I want to be powerful. Like, I want to be, like, strong. I want to be independent. I want to be, like, again, like, a beacon of light for these people or these, like, younger generations to be like, look, I could be strong. I could be independent.
Yeah, and they do mention, I want to mention this, I think it was her assistant. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. But she says when she was really getting famous, she took $10,000 out of her bank account and went around Kentwood and was giving people $100 bills. And she said she never, like, introduced her as Britney Spears. She just said, like, oh, here, Merry Christmas.
That's the thing. And, like that's the part that gets me even mad. It's like, and then but that's the thing. And, like, nobody shows that. Nobody says that. But then, like, they rather just, like, sexualize her, and they just rather, like, oh, she dresses sexy, so she must be a slut. Oh, she has her tits out, so she
she's
must
not
be,
a good
like,
girl. She's not a nice girl.
Yeah, and that's what got me so
but here's the thing.
uptight.
Here's the thing. People question this, but when she got with Justin Timberlake, this was, like, what they needed to pin her as this person. So her and Justin Timberlake dated. It was like, oh, look at them, they're so cute, they knew each other as kids, and one of the people described it as, like, he's the jock, and, you know, she's the easy girl in the high school, like, that type of, like, vibe, I'm gonna say.
Not easy girl, I would say more popular girl.
Popular, but you know how, she's easy, like, you know, like a high school American culture, how it goes, but you know the cheerleader's easy, like, every movie, the cheerleader's always easy, and that's, like, all her character. Oh, come on now, you know it.
But that's a stereotype, but that's
how they saw them. They saw them as this stereotype of that couple, and they broke up, and you know whose fault it was? Oh, it was Britney's. She cheated on him because Justin said so.
That's the part.
He wrote Cry Me a River about her. And he told everyone that they fucked. And remember when I said every time she was asked if she was a virgin, she would say yes.
That she was. That she's still a virgin.
Now, Justin Timberlake's big man on campus because he got in Britney's pants. There was I don't know what magazine it was. He was on the cover of a magazine, and they said, and in the title it says, at least he got in Britney's pants. So now this was the thing they needed to pin this on this girl, that she was like this whore. And it is god-awful. It's literally god-awful. So I want to bring this up. So on November 13th, 2003, she was on ABC's Primetime Thursday with Diane Sawyer.
Oh, fuck her.
Now,
oh my God.
She brought up the breakup and said, what did you do? And a lot of people in this documentary were saying, why would she even ask that? Why would, of course she blames her. But this isn't why I wanted to bring it up. The governor of Maryland's wife, Kendall Ulrich, said, really, if I had an opportunity to shoot Britney Spears, I think I would. And Britney Spears is like, oh my God, she literally goes ill. Why would she say that?
I honestly wish she pressed charges and that shit went out.
She can't.
I mean, I wish, obviously.
Diane Sawyer agreed with this woman and said it's so hard to be a parent. And Britney's like, it's not my job to babysit your kids. And I'm going to say this right now. If you don't want your child to listen to Britney Spears or even modern like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, if you don't want your child to listen to that, that's your job.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't market to kids. Like, they never come. They're not JoJo Siwa. They don't market to kids.
Even Cardi B said it herself. Didn't you hear one of the...
When Culture came in the room listening to WAP and she turned it off?
She literally says that knowing that she, like, is not of that, like, demographic for that young age. Like, she talks about her pussy, her boobs, her ass, shaking it, all this crazy stuff. She knows every time, like, she says, like, look, I'm not, like, the same way. Like, they're not here to babysit your kids. If you, as a parent, don't want or don't approve that your kid to not listen to that music, that is your responsibility to tell them, like, no, don't listen to that. That's not for you. Like, no. But then you end up like, but then that's the part that pisses me off, because then the parents love to like come through and like all like come together and be like, oh, we don't like you, it's your fault, you, knowing that it's literally not.
Well, it's not even mothers, it's just parents in
parents,
general.
not mothers. I never said mothers, I parents.
Oh, I thought you said moms.
Parents in general. Like, they will come after, like, celebrities being like, oh, it's your fault because you're the one, like, giving our children a bad example. Well, it's your fault for not literally controlling your kids and being like, listen, don't listen to that.
If your kid's too young to listen to that music,
it's your responsibility.
They're of age.
It's your responsibility.
Or, and plus, if your kid's a little older and you don't like it, just talk to them.
Yeah.
Just say, I don't think that's appropriate for your age to listen to.
Like, it's literally, I say that's your responsibility to talk to your children or tell them no. Like, no, because I don't feel comfortable. And no, because I don't feel like for your age or for whatever reason is for you to listen to that music, that type of music. But that's their responsibility.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like that.
So she's really under scrutiny. Now, between all this, she meets Kevin Federline and they have her sons.
He's another mess.
Now, before this, even before she had her baby, paparazzi literally... everywhere she's going, she goes to the drive-thru, she goes to the store, she goes to the mall. Paparazzi are there, and there's like 20 of them just taking her picture and yelling at her and not leaving her alone. In the beginning, she kind of enjoyed it. She would say, hi, how are you? But then she had her baby. And they would still do this when she had a little baby in her arms. And they were waiting for that money shot, as she described it in the interview. Now, I remember this picture came out of her driving the car holding the infant in her arms, and like everyone went berserk over this photo about how like terrible of a mother she is. But she says that she couldn't even put him in his car seat because the paparazzi were surrounding her car and banging on the window, and she has a baby with her, a little baby, and she freaked out and just drove away. And nobody thought about that. Everyone just talked about her driving the car with the baby. No one even like thought about those things. And the thing is, when she was interviewed about it, she did say that. Like, that's where we heard it from. She said that. And then she also said that when she was little, her dad would sometimes drive around with her on her lap, and that's all they went with, was that one thing she said. So then, yeah, like, I think there's one she tripped, and they're like, oh, she's going to drop her baby. Look at her going to drop. She's a terrible mother.
She had a glass of water and her baby in her arm, and she almost tripped, and literally that perfect shot, that money shot, basically, just had to be that. And what did they say? Oh, she's a bad mother. She almost dropped her damn baby. Like, it was like they're really like at this point. I felt like the paparazzi didn't just give a fuck. They just saw like
they wanted the, you know how much money
care.
They made so much money. They have a guy on the show. In the documentary named Daniel Ramos. Later we'll talk about him, but he's the one that took that photo of her with the umbrella that was everywhere.
Oh my god, when she had like the bald, like she had
when
the
she was bald
and she attacked the paparazzi. That was him.
That was him.
One.
And we'll get more into him in a minute.
Oh my god, oh my god. Can I just say I have so much anger and so much. We're
gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So then
and the shit that he says.
There's the custody battle. Everywhere she goes, the paparazzi are there. They showed photos, like, she's crying in the car, asking, like, why they're so close to her car. She can't get into anything. Everyone's pushing the paparazzi away. Like, she can literally go absolutely nowhere without these people hounding her. And when she did that interview with the photo with the baby in the car, she said, please stop. Like, she said, like, leave me alone. Like, she said it, and they didn't care.
Oh,
now,
no,
here's the thing.
No. Let's bring it back to that part. Then that's when they interview the freaking paparazzi guy. Ooh,
now, I know we're jumping ahead because we didn't get into the head shaving thing. But yeah, so that day, let's just bring it up real quick. Everyone remembers who was around that time or just knows about it because, it's in the documentary. She just one night, and I do want to bring attention to this before we get into Daniel Ramos. So that's going to open a whole new can of worms. When she had that breakdown, the hairdresser said she came in and she said she wanted her hair shaved. And the hairdresser was like, I'm not doing that. And this is what the hairdresser said, she supposedly said, I don't want anyone touching me. I'm tired of everyone touching me. Now, I'm not a professional with this, but I've heard people will cut their hair if they're, like, mentally not okay. Like, it's like a sign of a breakdown because it's, like, I guess the hair is so easy for people to touch.
Oh, yeah.
So no one can really touch you now, your hair. Like, I don't know the way it goes, but it's been heard that is something that might happen. And what did everyone do? They're just taking her picture. She's shaving her head. They're all in the mirror just taking her picture. She went and got tattooed. And they're just following her around. And then she kind of goes away for a little bit. Every news story, everyone's talking about how she shaved her head. But I wanted to bring this up. So in the documentary, they have a man named Wesley Morris. He is a journalist. It says in his description, critic at large. And he works for the New York Times. So his interpretation, I love his interpretation because this is exactly what it means. This is a quote. So she's saying essentially, with no hair, I quit. Whatever you guys are looking for in terms of me coming back and being that person again, I'm not. That person is gone and you have destroyed her. And that makes perfect sense.
Oh my God.
Like, this breakdown is like, this is sorry, someone's calling me. This is your fault. Like, that's what, like, this symbolizes. You know what I mean? Like, she might not have went there and said, I'm going to shave my head to prove the paparazzi something. What this means
in general is
to like them is this is your fault. This isn't her fault. This is your fault. This is
all you're
Britney's fault. Yeah. Not Britney's fault. I'm sorry.
This is the paparazzi.
This is the paparazzi's fault. This is not Britney's fault.
This is America's fault.
This is America's fault.
This is America's fault.
We'll get into it. So now let's get into the umbrella thing before we talk about the other thing I wanted to talk about. Daniel Ramos is on. He is one of the paparazzi. So now she is going to Federline's house. She wants to see the kids, and he won't let her see the kids. This is what they said was happening. He said was happening. She goes, says no, leaves. They go somewhere else. They're taking her picture. She's in the gas station. They're trying to ask her questions. She's, like, not even looking at them.
She was with her cousin.
She was with her cousin. Her cousin was driving. They go back to Federline's. Says again, you're not allowed to see the kids. Now they go to, I think he said it was a Jiffy Lube.
I think, yeah.
They go behind something, and the cousin gets out of the car, and they're taking her picture, and he says he approached the car and said, I just want to ask you a few questions, then we'll leave you alone. And that was like a snap. Open the door. That's when she got the umbrella out, and she busted at his car.
No. That was her cousin comes in, and she was saying,
please don't do
this.
Please
don't do this. Please, guys, like, please just go. Like, please don't do this. Brittany just, like, obviously, she was so vulnerable. She just snapped, grabbed the umbrella, and straight up attacked the people. And honestly, that was self-defense. Yeah, that was straight up self-defense. About it. Because in the end of the day, even when you look at the documentary, you can see is like Daniel Ramos, the one who had the camera, saying, oh, hey, Brittany, we just want to ask you questions. What comes right on the side of the damn thing? A paparazzi
taking her picture,
a ton of
while
pictures.
She's sitting in the car.
Literally. And pictures where you see where she is vulnerable, not looking at the camera, just like trying to be like, please get away from me. Like, please get away. And I completely understand, like, the fact that, like, she was vulnerable. They basically attacked her, and like she defended herself with the umbrella.
So now this is like
big news. Oh my god, when it went into the, oh my god, that was their $1 million money shot. Because how much he said he got
banked for that photo.
He got bank,
and that's what they're in it for.
Oh my god. And this is what he says. Literally, even the person was even the one that was like literally interviewing said, because he goes and he's basically saying like, okay, Brittany, knowing Brittany, that she said on live television that to leave her alone, like leave her alone. What his fucking comment says is that, oh no, we meant that leave her alone for the day. Like, are you fucking kidding me? For the day? She's in a vulnerable state. She wanted to see her kids and she couldn't see her kids. And you're literally saying that to leave her alone for the day?
First, he said, if she told me to leave her alone, I would have. And then the interviewer said, well, what about the time she said leave her alone? Because they showed that news clip. And he's like, and that's when he says, oh, it was for the day, not forever.
Like, and then it's like, and then he had, oh my god, he has nothing to say at the end. That's what I love, when he got fucking shut up right there and he like, he ducked his head down.
So we're gonna take a quick break from the documentary, because I remembered this and I was debating on talking about this, but I said, you know what, if it's more than just, like, of course, yes, we're talking about the documentary, but this is more than a documentary. We're talking about the situation. Now, I brought up while we were watching the documentary, when I went to an ad, I said, I remember when this was going on, like the breakdown, South Park made an episode about this. And now, listen, I'm going to say, I know South Park's not for everyone. This episode might not be for everyone.
I will say this.
We're going to trigger warning before we talk about the episode.
It was uncomfortable for me, but in many ways.
We'll talk about the anyway. Now, South Park's not for everyone. They go there with jokes. They get uncomfortable. It might not be for you, but I want to say this. I love South Park. I grew up on South Park. I feel like, South Park, Mr. Hanky, farting jokes,
Mr. Garrison,
poop jokes.
Oh my god.
Kenny says inappropriate things. Cartman says the most fucked up things.
South Park,
that's South Park.
Yeah.
But there's times where they like, how I like to see it, they go, this you, like, they make you look at society in the best way they know how.
Secret messages into their shows.
But sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's there. Sometimes they have those messages in your face, and they're like, how do you feel about that?
But at the same time, us as a society, we think of South Park as like a comedy show, right?
Yeah, it's inappropriate, immature, fart and poop show.
And that's the thing. What I love about South Park is that they literally, if you really watch South Park and you sit there, they throw shit in your face and they make it so obliviously right there in front of you that us as humanities, we don't even see it. It literally goes completely over our heads, and we just continuously just watch the comedy. And
I will say this. I've seen this episode previous to this documentary, but watching the documentary and watching this episode, you're like, wow. So this is in their season 12, episode 2. It's called Britney's New Look. Now, this premiered when all this was going on.
Oh, my God.
So what happens, basically, is, like, it literally opens, they're watching the presidential debate. And
with Obama
and Hillary Clinton, like, that's how you know it's of the time. And, Stan doesn't want to watch the presidential debate. The dad's like, you gotta watch this is important. And then they interrupt the presidential debate with Britney Watch. And it's Britney is in South Park. She's camping and she pees on a ladybug. And someone takes a photo of her. And they're like, oh my god, look at her peeing on a ladybug. She hates ladybugs. She's so gross. And they say they blur the photo. You literally see, like, the South Park version of her peeing on the ladybug, and they blur her face out. And they're laughing about, she's fat, she's gross. And they're all, and, like, even Stan and Kyle, like, they're not, like, upset about it, but they're like, what, like, who cares?
No, first it started with Butters being upset about it.
Oh, yeah, he's like, oh, that poor girl.
And then the crowd was like, oh, no, guys, get your camera. We're going to go take a picture of her.
No. Well, first, they see that the photographer who took that photo made a ton of money. So, in South Park fashion, the boys are like, what? Like, we can make that much money if we get a photo of Britney. So, they're like, let's go take a photo of Britney. So they dress Butters up like a squirrel. And they want to take a picture of Britney pooping on him. Like, that's what, you know what I mean? Like, South Park gets those jokes.
Peeing?
No, pooping, because they said if he can get that much for peeing, can we imagine what she gets for pooping on a squirrel? So now, he makes $100,000, so they're like, they want to make that money. So the thing is, I'm going to say this, trigger warning, suicide. There is a scene with flashing lights, which I'll get more into. But yeah, it's going to get into the suicide.
The suicide?
If I can timestamp it, I'll timestamp when we stop talking about this episode if you really don't want to listen to it. Because like I said, this is an uncomfortable episode. So if you don't want to listen to this part, you can skip. We're going to get more into the documentary. I just felt like it's important to just bring up what they said and how it matches the documentary. So yeah. I'll also say at the end, I'll say, okay, now we're done, so you don't skip too far. If you're gonna just skip, if I can't timestamp, I will try. Anyway, so they go to the hotel, and there's a ton of photographers outside, and they're like, we're here to take a picture. Because remember, the boys are young, they're 8, they're 9.
South Park.
They're young kids from South Park, and they just want to make a money. And the guys are like, get in line, like, we're all here for the money shot. So here's the thing, they go to the security guard, and they're like, we need to get up there, and he's like, no, and they're like, oh, well, we're her sons, and this was during the custody battle.
Yeah.
Now, you see, Brittany is in the room, she's crying, she's on the phone saying, people think I hate ladybugs, I'm done doing this, and then the security guard comes to the door and says, your sons are here, and she's like, I feel so much better, my sons are here, and then the South Park kids, so it's Kyle, Stan, Cartman, and Butters. Mm-hmm. And they come in, they're yelling at each other, and she's like, oh, it's just another prank. Like, you're never gonna leave me alone. So then, the boys are all screaming at each other, like, yelling at Butters to get ready to get pooped on. Butters is like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to get pooped on. And Brittany goes to the drawer and takes out a gun, and she's like, you're never gonna leave me alone, are you? And they're like, okay, like, get ready for the picture, and she's like, I got a better one, and then she shoots herself in the mouth. And she falls to the floor, and it's, like, silence for a couple seconds. And, like, all the boys are, like, shocked, in silence, and Cartman runs out of the room, and the security guard comes, and he goes, oh. Like, no reaction, he just goes, oh. So then, it's silence, and then it cuts, which would be a commercial, and then it's, Stan and Kyle standing in the hospital, and they're like, oh my god, we should have just left that poor girl alone. They're, like, crying. They're like, we should have just left her alone. Like, why would we do this? And the doctor comes and she's like, oh, Brittany lived. And they're like, oh my god, thank God. So now, Brittany's alive, but half her head is gone. So she just has her bottom teeth, her tongue, and the whole top half of her head
literally like,
is gone. And she can't talk.
She only has her bottom jaw, her tongue, and like literally like just sliced right there from like all that.
And Stan and Kara are like, what is going on? And the doctor's like, oh no, she looks great, right? And they're like, and like Stan and Kyle feel terrible, so they want to help Brittany. So then the news cover comes on, and they call this the missing top of my head look. And they show her being wheeled into the hospital, and there's the paparazzi. And what do? They close up on her boobs and say, there's a boob job scar. And they're like, look at her and they're like, oh yeah, she's so fat, look at her boob job scar. Yeah, and then they're in the hospital, they look out the window, there's the paparazzi taking pictures, and the doctor's like, she can't handle this stress, you need to get her out of here. And like, like I said, it goes to those lines where it's funny, but it's dark. The security cart breaks in, and they're like, get her out of here, and they run out, and the one paparazzi does the Invasion of the Body Snatchers scream. Oh my god,
he does that scream.
And it's like funny, but it's true. we started laughing, but like at the same time, like if you could put it into a weird way, if you want to explain it in a kind of comedy way, that's the way to do it. Oh, like he just screeches and they're all running, and like Stan and Kyle are like, what the hell's going on here? We're so scared. So they're saying like, we want to help Brittany. They're in the car with her manager, and they're like, we want to help Brittany. We feel terrible. This is our fault. And he's like, all right. They bring her right to the studio. And they're like,
to make a fucking music.
Yeah, to make an album. And Stan and Kyle are like, don't you think she needs to rest? Like, she's not okay. So everyone's like, oh my god, she's high, isn't she? She's high again. And she's like gurgling, trying to sing. And they're like, she sounds great. And Stan and Kyle are looking at each other like, are these people nuts? So then this guy that's there, he goes, oh, she's so stupid. And Stan's like, she's missing half of her head. So now I feel like the meaning of missing half of her head is like, she's mentally not okay, she needs help, but like, it's South Park, so she's missing top of her head. So I think that represents trauma, like, because trauma does affect your brain. So I do think of it that way, like, her brain is affected, she needs to rest, she needs to get help, she needs to be left alone. And the guy's like, yeah, she got so fat, she's so stupid. And they're like, Stan and Kyle are like, what are you people saying?
Like, what the fuck?
So she does the MTV performance. Now, if anyone remembers her MTV performance in 2007, she was not there. She was tired. She needed to rest.
Like the dance crew were like literally just like help putting her in positions on stage while she just kept on singing. Like they literally leaned her and she just like was there.
Yeah, and that's what they do in this episode. And Stan and Carl like, is this serious? Are you people serious? And they're like, oh my God, look at her. She can't sing. She's so boring. Oh, she's got so chubby. And Stan and Carl are like, are you people like what? Because I still feel like I don't want to get too into South Park, but I do want to say this because you not gotta get it, but it's good to picture it this way also. Stan and Kyle are Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Like, those are their caricatures. I can never say that word. Of themselves. Okay. So in a way, when Kyle and Stan say things, usually that's what they think. But they're just putting it in these two characters. So I'm pretty sure they saw this and they were like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck? And this is South Park, and they know a lot of people watch it, and they said, you know, we're going to say something, because they said things before, so we're going to say it again. So, they bring her into the dressing room, and she's, like, slumped on the couch, and the paparazzi are taking pictures, and then Kyle and Stan are like, we need to get her somewhere. She needs help. We need to take her where she'll be okay. And the manager's like, she's fine. And they look at Brittany, and she's, like, slumped on the chair. So they're like, we're going to escape with Brittany. So they put a disguise on her. They're running, and they take a picture, and everyone talks about that she has a camel toe on her shorts. And that's everyone's concern, right? So she runs away with Stan and Kyle. Now, this is where it becomes... This is where they put their South Park isms, I'm going to say, into it. Now, when they're running away with Brittany, Kyle dresses up like Brittany, and they chase her. They chase him. And they get to a dead end, and they realize it's not Brittany, and Kyle's like, listen, I know, like, you love watching people fail, but it's so clear, like, you need to stop. Like, she seriously needs help, and you're not helping. You're making everything worse for her. And the guy turns around and goes, don't you understand? Britney Spears has to die. And Kyle's like, what? Now...
This is where it gets dark.
This is where it's gonna get dark, but they make sense. Now...
If you really, like, listen... While we're talking about this, Devin, let me want your opinion, because I want everybody else to know. Do you literally strongly agree that if everybody is listening to this right now, they should watch the documentary of Britney Spears and literally watch right after the South Park episode
if you can handle this, if you're listening this far, if you were curious, if you think you can handle this episode... Like I said, watch the documentary, then watch this episode right after. And that's literally what we do.
Everything makes sense in such a way where it's like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to say. Like, it's not like people weren't saying back then this is wrong. And I'm glad now it's getting the notice. But back then, no one was saying this. Britney was the villain. And like, and they show how... Like, Family Feud was making fun of her.
Oh my God.
So that's the thing. She was the laughing stock of everything. But South Park made this and said, no, you're the piece of shit. And that's the thing. This came out at that time, and everyone's making fun of her. Like, we watched iCarly the other day, and there was a whole episode making fun of Britney Spears in that.
Oh my God.
And South Park was really the only ones to say, no, you're wrong. She's not wrong. You're wrong. What you're doing is wrong. And that's, like, why I appreciate the show. Like I said, they got their controversies. They got their thing. It's not the South Park episode, but we wanted to talk about this episode.
But now coming back to the part where where the whole crowd is literally coming after, was it Kyle, right? Yeah, they're going after Kyle when he literally disguised himself. And everybody's saying she must die. Now to think, even right now, I'm like, as I'm saying this, like, I could think about it. It's like, holy shit, like... Listen, back in the day, what did paparazzi say how much a fucking money shot made? Millions, thousands of dollars. So now bring it back to the freaking episode of South Park. Don't you think that literally they're saying she must die because of the crop? Because literally it's like, we need money to survive, so let's ruin this bitch's life to make us money.
Here's another thing. This turns into... If anyone had to read this in a college short stories class or high school, people read it in both. There's this short story called The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. It has that same commentary on society. It's a weird story. If you like weird things, I should suggest you read it. It's a short story. But the basis is a town has to pick a person to be stoned to death to get the harvest. And that's what they're going at. But, like, there's this, like, weird part where they start singing, like, a cult song to Kyle when they tell him that she has to die for the harvest. And it's, like, it's comedic in its ways. Now, Stan doesn't know this, but Kyle knows this. So Stan's in the train with her, saying that they're gonna get her to the North Pole for some reason.
Oh yeah, to get her escape, her
they're
basically.
taking her to the North Pole and she's gonna be fine
because they want to basically help her to escape all the media.
The train guy calls and says she's on the train.
No, somebody calls the train.
No, it was the driver.
Yeah,
it was the train
conductor.
Like,
he called somebody saying that he saw a picture,
and he starts singing the song too.
Can we just say this? And that thing that even got to me is like when that point and they were literally showing that picture scene, it was a fucking camel toe. It was a legitimate camel toe on the picture, and they're like, "Oh, we see Brittany. It's right here. It's a fucking camel toe." Like, literally, that's how it is. It's like
so Kyle's brought to this location. They're gathering, and they say how centuries ago they would pick a girl, adorn her with jewels, and then sacrifice her for the harvest. But they basically say how we know better and we don't do that anymore, but we still have that barbaric want in us for people to suffer. So they take Stan and Brittany and they bring her to this location and everyone just starts taking her picture. This is where that flash warning comes in. It's a lot of flashing.
Oh yeah, a lot of flashing. Watch
out. And I feel like they did that on purpose to show you what it feels like.
Oh yeah.
But like warning, I know people have epilepsy, so people can't handle that.
So please be
careful. But in a way, I mean, if you want to know what it felt like to have cameras on you all for a long time, and it goes on for a while, the flashing scene with the cameras, and they're all surrounding Brittany taking pictures.
I had an anxiety attack.
Yeah, and then Brittany dies, and they leave. And it literally just Stan is standing next to her, just staring down on her. And then it's like the harvest is done. Everyone's living life. Like everything's fine.
Beautiful, yeah, like
it's
a
beautiful.
harvest.
They have their harvest.
Nice. Yeah.
And then they're in the store, and then they
get this news reporting about Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana at that time.
And they're like, oh, the harvest is going to be good next year. And then they start singing that song. And Stan and Kyle roll their eyes and start singing it. And that's the end of the episode. So now, like I said, I'm glad we're talking about it now. But to, like, just think about this. Like,
everything makes sense. If you literally...
Look at this now. I know it came out back then. But, like, if you have HBO Max or if you have a way of accessing it at South Park... And you want to watch this, like, you might not like... I'm, like, saying, you don't have to be a fan of South Park to watch this episode. But just
if you really, like, want to watch and you're actually, like, into the whole Britney Spears stuff that's going on...
But if you want to see something that was talked about when this was going on and it came out around the same time, and that commentary, if you like the commentary on it, I suggest watch this episode because there's a message in there. So, yeah, I remember, like, when we were watching it and they were talking about, like, how... paparazzi would harass her. That's when I was like, I remember this episode existed, so we should watch this after. So we did, and we were sitting there like I said, like usually South Park, you're like laughing hysterically at it, and there was those little moments like when they sing the song and Butters is the squirrel. Like one part they're watching the news and Butter is taking animal control.
Oh yeah, it was like there was like stupid funny stuff. Like
yeah, like they have those South Park, but at the end of the day, like that episode ends and you're like,
holy fucking shit! Like wow, yeah. Like America are like Americans in general are vultures. Like we really hound down celebrities and all these famous people for the money shots and for all these stuff just because, again, for the money. Money is the root of evil. Like, look what money basically did to Britney Spears.
And it's not even just paparazzi, it's the conservatorship, too, if we're going to get controversial. Conservatorship is the root of that, too.
Listen, that it was part of it. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, think about it this way. Like, she was popular. She was a hot shit. She was, like, a young girl when all these, like, boy bands were such a big thing. And then she really made a stomp in the whole world. And then all of a sudden, just because of that, like, her being, like, the really, like, only one pop singer at that time.
That she was just the biggest target. And they just targeted her.
And to make it worse,
I mean, they targeted other people, but she was the
target. And the fact that they targeted her so hardcore, and then just thinking about the whole South Park episode makes me even wonder. It's like... Thank God. Thank you, Lord. And if you believe in the gods or whatever, that's you. But I'm going to say thank God that nothing has happened to Britney Spears that has gotten to that point. Because literally watching that episode of South Park literally makes you think that you as a person, listen, we all could commit suicide. We all could have that one instinct like, oh, we are just hit that rock bottom that we're just like, you know what, we're done and we could just end it. There's people out there that have done it. Have done it. Imagine we have this celebrity that does it right there. Like, what do you think is going to happen? She's going to die, then everybody's going to disappear. And then literally how South Park said it.
And they'll go to the next person.
How South Park said it.
Yeah.
To the next harvest. To the next person we should get that money shot from. Like,
and that's the thing, like... I wouldn't be shocked, like I said, this came out at the time, I wouldn't be shocked if they thought that this was going to happen.
I would.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked if when they were writing the episode or thinking of an episode, you know, all this Britney stuff was happening, and South Park was having a season at the time, and they write their episodes a week before too. Everything's on the nose, so that's why they were on the nose. I wouldn't be shocked if they saw it and said, you know what, like, the media's gonna kill this girl. And they said, well, let's say something about it. And they did. And they did just that. So, like I said, if you can handle South Park, if you listen to all that, and you just listen to us talk about it, but if you think you can handle watching it, watch it.
Or even if those who have already watched the documentary of Framing
Well,
Britney,
I'm talking about the South Park episode specifically.
I'm even saying that. No, I'm saying that. Like, even those that people, like, have actually seen the Framing Britney documentary and, like, already get the synopsis of, like, the whole documentary and all that. If you really want to even get wowed up even more and just be like, holy fucking shit, this could happen. This could have happened. This literally could have happened. Watch the Britney Spears episode that South Park did. Literally, please watch it, because you're gonna be like mind blown. Like, this could have happened, and
it could have ended like
paparazzis being vultures could have like literally done this.
Like, we're so, like, of course we're so happy, like, what South Park thought was gonna happen didn't happen.
Oh, thank goodness.
But I think they basically were saying, if she dies, like, if she commits suicide, it's your fault. And not even your, he's like, it's us as the society's fault. Like, that's what I feel like that episode was saying. If she dies from this is us as a society. This is our fault. We did this.
But you know why I'm also saying that? Is because, like, remember the whole stuff that even The Simpsons does? Look at the whole presidential stuff.
I know, but that's different. Like, South Park's never really done that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if, like, all that stuff that South Park, like, The Simpsons has done, and then all of a sudden, because I don't know why, like, think about it, like, in all the what, like, this is my thought, like, I don't know why it's so weird. Like, even people say, like, what The Simpsons has already done, like, it ends up coming to light, or it comes to light, or it happens.
I'm glad this didn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. Like, thank God it did not happen. Like, thank you.
But I think they made this because, like, I wouldn't, to be honest, looking back on it, not knowing what we know now, that she's not fine, but, like, that didn't happen.
It could have happened.
It looked like that. Like, a lot of people saw this, not a lot of people, because, like I said, people were exploiting her, but I think, like, it's good South Park made that episode. I said, it gets dark. It goes there. It's not going to be for everybody. But I'm glad they took their show, because that show it's still popular. Oh, yeah. But during that time, that show was at the height. Everyone was watching South Park. So I'm glad they took their show and said, you know what, we're going to talk about this because people watch our show.
But low-key,
and they want people to think about it.
But not for nothing, I kind of hope that maybe even with this podcast that we post out there, that it does bring it to light and people start putting it out there, like, look.
I know, like, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are talking.
Because that's the thing, like, right now, we're talking about it right now, what's going on, like, the only thing that's just basically just came out of the whole Britney Spears experience of everything is the documentary that happened with the Framing Britney thing. Now, right next, apparently, what I've been hearing is that Netflix is going to be making a Britney Spears documentary, right? I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope that one way, or maybe from us being us a community, that we could even bring that South Park episode to life. Like, look, this could have happened.
Well, not that South Park episode to life.
Not to life.
Just saying, like,
bring it not to life, to light. To light.
Well, I think that's the thing. The South Park thing was more on the paparazzi thing.
But but think about it this way. I'm not saying it's like that, but I'm saying that they should bring that to light, because look, this could have happened. We should be more aware what's going on and help her out now. Mm-hmm. Like, she needs the help. She still needs the help.
Yeah, well,
like, look, the whole stuff that she does on Instagram. She does need the help.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this now. If you did skip, let's stop. We're gonna stop now talking about South Park, because now we're getting into the more core things. So, welcome back. If you didn't want to listen to the South Park thing, completely fine. We touched more on the paparazzi thing and what happens in that episode, on how awful the paparazzi and society was treating her.
Honestly.
So now we're going to continue. So we lead into this conservatorship that her dad is on. Now, like I explained earlier, it's when he has control. Not like we said earlier, he only has control of finances now. But at the time, he controlled her life and her finances. Now, I think it was MTV, pretty sure, made a documentary about her to, like, see how she's doing now. In this documentary, she said she tells people how she feels, but nobody listens. They hear what they want to hear. And her dad, you know,
being the head of the conservator, basically,
tells her what to do, control of all her life. They bring up her oldest son got in a fight with him.
Oh my God.
Because, like, she is under this man's control, and hopefully now with the documentary and, like, more things coming out, this ends and this is fixed.
And somebody honestly give her help. That I hope that she really gets that help.
And we help, because I even said, I'm pretty sure there's people who are not celebrities that are in situations like this.
And not even that, there's other celebrities that we're not even talking about. Like, listen, like, think about, like, Amanda Bynes, Lindsay Lohan, Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato.
Miley Cyrus isn't up there. I mean, she had her sting, but she's not.
But what do we know? But what do we know about? But do you actually know what's behind the scenes?
I feel like we would have known about. I mean, but it's not. But it's not like a Lindsay in Paris where, like, the paparazzi, everything they do, they're handling them, they're taking their pictures.
Right. Apparently, right now they're making a whole documentary about what happened to Demi Lovato. Didn't you hear about that?
Demi Lovato's. I'm talking about Miley Cyrus.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, Demi Lovato,
Disney, like Nickelodeon, like all these
like everyone's talking about Demi Lovato having drug addiction and mocking her for it, not talking about that she suffers from addiction. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's more to this than just Britney, but I'm glad we're just getting to it.
Oh yeah.
But Britney, I feel like, was the first person to go through this before we really went towards the others. So now, but also with the conservatorship, I'm like, we didn't really look into that, but I wouldn't put it past that there's people out there stuck in this
I wouldn't be
exact
surprised.
Situation. They're just, they're not famous. So I hope this also sheds light on, like, there's probably other situations. Yeah. So now, Britney's Instagram and her TikTok. She posts. Do you want to talk about Instagram and I'll talk about TikTok? Because I've seen more of her TikToks.
I've seen a lot of her Instagram,
Okay, you talk about her Instagram first. I've been talking a lot.
Her Instagram, to those that may not be really known about Britney Spears, because there's a lot of people that might not know about Britney Spears.
Yeah, they just might know that she's a singer.
They just know that she's just a singer and all that. Britney Spears posts some interesting, like, Instagram posts where it's like, you could see in her face that she has this distress or, like, trying to get something told out there in the world, but she can't. But at the same time, she's just posting stuff. Mm-hmm. Literally, like, the one with the what was it? The white shirt that she was the one twirling around?
Oh, yeah, but that's TikTok.
Oh, no, that was on...
Instagram? I've seen her
Snapchat.
on...
It was on Snapchat,
Oh, I don't have her on Snapchat.
Yeah, I mean, not Snapchat. What am I saying? Instagram.
Oh, I don't have
all
Instagram.
Over the place.
I don't watch her on Instagram.
But yeah, she does. There's the same that stuff on there. There's the yellow shirt, like, with her, like, I'm like, I'm the type of person, like, I even, like, went down that rabbit hole of, like, going through the comment section, and people would literally be saying, like, oh, if you feel uncomfortable or if you feel this way, wear this shirt or, like, blink your eyes. And what's even shocking is that it happens. Like, in one of her videos, like, again, one of the comments, wear a yellow shirt. She wears a yellow shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're, like, uncomfortable or something like that, blink your eyes. And she starts blinking her eyes, like, the X amount of time where they said it on the comments. And it's like, you could see, like, she is reading the comment section and she is trying to say, like, she needs that help. And, like, she needs, like, if you really, like, dissect it, like, she does need that help. And it gets, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what I see on Instagram.
Well, with the yellow shirt, I remember on TikTok, she posted this TikTok of her dancing to Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. And literally, like, she was spinning and she would just come in and, like, pose and was really off-putting. And someone pointed out that in a video before that, someone said, if you need help, wear a yellow shirt in your next video. In the next video, she had a yellow shirt on. And she would just post videos of her twirling around. I remember she was wishing Happy Pride Month, and then she, like, yelled at buddy that was not standing there to be quiet. Like, very off-putting. And then they showed one in the documentary where she had a flower. And she's like, God. Oh, isn't the flower so pretty? She's like, it's soap. And she's squishing it.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, it's not a flower, it's soap.
It's
off-putting.
It made me feel some type of way. It was like, basically saying, like, oh, you think, like, everything is beautiful and, like, rainbows and colorful and so magical and majestic and, like, like, Wonderland. And then it's just nothing. It's fake. It's not real. Like, she literally crushes and she's like, no, it's soap. It's just soap. It's not real. It's not a real flower. It's soap. And it's just, like, just even thinking about that, like, psychologically, like, that just, like, makes you think, like, she is really, like, not in a good situation, really. Like, honestly.
Yeah. It's like I said, this is a hard watch. I'm a big documentary lover. We were in the discussion of doing more documentaries next, and another one I'm thinking of is another rough one we're gonna have to talk about, which I won't get into it. But this is hard in general. I feel like even if you're not a Britney Spears fan, if you see this, like, you're gonna be left uncomfortable. Oh, even God. If you didn't, you didn't love her music growing up.
Maybe
you weren't a fan. Like, if you just hear this story, you're gonna be like, wow.
You know what it made me feel I don't know why, and this is just my thought, like, I don't know why, and I, don't get me wrong, I love the documentary, The Act, or the show, The Act.
Yeah.
For some reason, I felt like when I saw the documentary, I felt like this was like...
Oh, like Gypsy Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could get that. I could get that vibe.
That vibe.
Not the same,
not
but
the same thing. Not the same thing. Like, I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it gives me that vibe.
That, yeah. I get exactly what you're saying.
Girl, because basically the whole thing with Gypsy Rose, she was innocent. Her mom literally controlled her to be all sick and all this stuff, and then... Look what happened.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It's like, thank God that nothing happened. Don't get me wrong. Like, thank you.
Like, I feel like
happened, but it's like...
Britney, they see that she's mentally not okay, and they're taking advantage of that. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like they're refusing her the help she needs to just keep her the way they want her.
And I wouldn't be surprised that it's the same thing. Like, imagine if, like...
Like, we don't... Like, obviously, we don't know. We don't know what goes on behind closed door.
Oh, yeah, no,
this is just speculation, but I personally feel like they're restraining help she needs.
I mean... They did say that.
They didn't say they restrain use, but he controls her medical stuff. Like, she controls...
Don't you think? Yeah, they said that basically... I wouldn't be surprised that they basically tell the doctors, like, oh, she needs this help, she needs... No.
Or not she's fine, but like
she's not fine. I wouldn't be surprised, like, oh, no, Britney Spears is like acting psychotic. We need her to get on psycho meds. And then she gets all like, cause listen,
I wouldn't be shocked if they...
Bitch, I've been on psych meds, and those things make you feel disgusting. Like, yes, they do help other people, and I'm not saying they don't, but me personally, they made me feel so like I was not myself. And I'm really loud, energetic, fun, happy. Like, I'm really like in a positive mood. Those pills have made me so like I had no spirit, honestly.
We don't...
I wouldn't be surprised that that's what happens with Britney.
Like we don't have proof, but like speculation.
No, I'm not saying speculation. There's nothing. No, like, this is all like not even what am I saying? Like, this is all speculation. This is straight up speculation. Don't take our word like to like
as facts.
Don't take this as facts. This is all like our opinions. This is only opinions. Yeah.
So they show near the end, there's movements there. There's a podcast called Britney's Instagram where they talk about her posts.
Oh yeah, it's
literally called Britney's Gram.
Yeah, and like basically like they dissect the whole like Britney.
What could her post mean?
What does it mean and all that stuff?
Yeah.
They even like reported it when she went on like that weird hiatus of like not posting anything out of nowhere.
Yeah, they had activists. They had I think it was TikToks of people saying like they stand with Britney. So there's a movement going on. It's the #Free Britney movement. This is going on. There's people here that want to back her up, even though she's a famous name. They want to show that there's people that actually are concerned about her. Like, a lot of people grew up with Britney. Oh, yeah. And they really cared about her. And her music helped them. Like, a lot of people bring up how, like, Britney showed me it's okay to be who I am. I can be who I want. And Britney showed me that. So, like, now she needs help. I want to help her.
Honestly, yeah. I feel like, in honest opinions, like, I feel like she is, like, our national treasure. And,
she is a national treasure.
And she, honestly, is in a really bad state. And us... as a community, we should help her out, or like really put the word out there and be like, help her out, because she needs it. She needs help. She really needs it. She's just like, think about it this way.
She's a person. She's just a human being.
She's just a human being. She's just a mother with her kids that just want to like enjoy life. Yeah, she's famous. Yeah, she has that popularity. Yeah, she has like the graphics and all that. Like, she has it. But at the same time, forget about that stuff. Like, she's still a human being. She still has feelings just like the rest of us. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like I feel like thank you for everybody that actually like did that stuff to like really New York put the Times stuff in the light, did it, all that, like they really, and the activists, the Free Britney activists. But at the same time, I feel like there's still more more to be done.
Well, luckily, like as we mentioned earlier, the father lost daily life control. He still has finances, but these things take time. So hopefully in time, I know they're trying to have the mother, because Britney has said that she knows that she cannot get out of the conservatorship in a whole. So I think that's why she wants her mom to do it, because hopefully the mom won't be controlling, as it seems she is with her dad.
I would assume, she's not controlling, because like she's been on so many, like, again, like even through the documentary they said like the dad wasn't basically part of her life.
Yeah, the mom was
like,
there.
It was always the mom. Like, she was basically there. So I don't, even that part, like, I don't even see why the freaking hell they gave it to the dad. Why didn't they give it to the mom? The mom was basically part of her life the whole way through.
Probably because it's the dad. I won't be shocked if it's because of the dad.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's just because of the dad, but it's just like so fucked up. Like, instead of seeing like her proof and how far she's gone, like, Give it to the mom. She's been there for her the whole time. He only came through when he wanted the money, and then all of a sudden it's like the money, money. And then, like, even now, the whole thing, she wanted a raise with the whole stuff. Like, who
the 1.5. I forgot what it is, but I remember the number was 1.5% of something
like, who
he gets, like a paycheck.
Like, literally, who fucking makes a conservatorship, knowing that a conservatorship is supposed to literally
be for, like, an older person or someone who's, like, mentally disabled.
And not even that. It's supposed to be basically, like, an out people, like, helping them. Not even controlling their life. Helping them to be stable. Because, like, what it does is it's just basically saying, like, this person doesn't have the capability of, like, functioning, or, like, because most likely might be manipulated or in any way of that shape. But it's like, why the dad? He was never there. And they even said it, like, he was never there.
Some questions are left unanswered.
I know, but it's just it's just that question that makes me feel like, where?
Yeah, you're left with some, like, you get some answers, but you're left with some questions at the end of this. So, I feel like we should wrap this up. We've been talking. It's an hour. We've been talking. It's about to be
2 hours. What do you mean?
No, that's seconds. Sorry, we're looking at it's seconds. You're looking at a different angle. Wow. We use my phone to record. So, let's grade this. I mean, I'm gonna give it an A+ in the sense that this was a good documentary, and it's good that this came out. And
if we're talking about documentary wise, like as being a documentary, I give it an A+ because it's really informative about, like, what it is. Again, Britney Spears, they're really, like, telling her story and saying, like, look, she needs the help, and it's like she's went through so much pain and suffering, like,
for no reason.
Yeah,
just because I'm gonna say just because she's a woman.
Not even
because even someone said the stylist. Remember the stylist said no. Let me talk first. No. Let me talk. I was talking first. The stylist said yes, bitch.
No fucking bitch. I'm telling first.
I was talking, bitch.
Then why you cut me off?
You cut me off.
You cut, bitch. I was trying to tell you first.
I would know because I said she got it as a woman, and I said that the stylist said she worked with all the boy bands, and she's never seen scrutiny out of Star like she has with Britney.
But that's the part where you're just being like, oh, because she's a girl, like, oh, because she's a girl, she's like, oh, she's maybe no, it is not.
It's so easy to go after her,
really,
because she's a woman.
What about the paparazzis?
She's a woman. What about the paparazzi? But that's the thing. Listen, my grandma.
No. Listen, I think no. All right, now let me put my opinion. I think it's because of the paparazzis, because these people literally said a money shot is worth so much money. But why is she the target? Why is she the target for the paparazzi? Because literally she was the first woman that just came out of this whole thing. She was a woman. Like, this whole boy band. That's the thing.
She wasn't from boy bands.
No,
she toured
but in the boy band rage.
But she,
like, at that time, it was only all because of the boy band rage.
She was a woman, but here's the thing: my grandma always tells me. Ever since I was a little kid, my grandma always told me this. She said a man could fall down, and he could get up and wipe himself off, and he could just walk, and no one's gonna say anything. But a woman couldn't fall down, and everyone's gonna look at her and look and say, "Look at she fell." That's the thing. That's what you're not understanding. Yes, it's the paparazzi's fault that she got to where she is, and obviously other things with her family, but the reason she's under all this scrutiny is because she is a woman, and that is the fact. The reason she is under all this scrutiny, and she was the target, is because she is a woman. And she was the first woman that took the scene, because it was all, like the stylist said, it was all boy bands, in sync. The band Justin Timberlake was in. I can't remember the name. I don't remember his name.
I don't even know.
Who cares?
Screw them.
He was in a boy band. It was the boy bands. And, they had the girl singers, but she was the first girl singer that came on the scene, and she was it. And she never got this scrutiny that they got. And they were doing the same shit what she was doing. Look, Justin Timberlake's a hero. He got on Britney Spears' pants, but she's the slut. Because she let Justin Timberlake, she had sex with Justin Timberlake, supposedly.
And not even
so
that,
now she's
but
the
at
slut.
The same time, but at the same time, it was like, at that time, it was like all the boy band rage, and there was the shit. There was like basically Justin Timberlake and them. Yeah, okay, but at that time, it was like, yeah, she already had all that bash about her, quote unquote, being a whore, being this and being that. And then all of a sudden, Justin Timberlake, someone that was big, that was part of, like, what was it, NSYNC boy band? What? I don't even know. And he comes out of nowhere being like, oh, yeah, she cheated on me and this, and then makes a whole music video.
And they all took his side immediately, and it was Britney's fault. But that's the thing. This is the misogyny and the toxic masculinity this documentary lightens outside of I can't even say it. The conservatorship. Like, obviously, that's, like, a big thing driving this documentary. Oh, yeah. But that's brought up. That's a big thing in this documentary, too. She was doing... And the thing is, she did what a lot of girls did in their 20s. Or late teens, some girls dress provocative, some girls have sex, some girls drink, but the thing is, she was pushed and pushed and pushed, and this is why what happened to her happened, because she was pushed, and every little mistake she made, she was on the cover of every TMZ, on the tabloids. I mean, she gained weight, she lost too much weight. Literally, You Want a Piece of Me, in the song, she says she's too thin, she's too fat, she's this and that. Like, and no matter what she does, there's a problem. And that's the thing, it's because she's a woman.
And then what?
It is because she's a woman.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also the paparazzi.
I know, but that's what you're failing to realize. I know it's the paparazzi's fault, but the reason they went after her, the driving reason, is because she is a woman. I know it's the paparazzi's fault. It is their fault that this is what, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're at fault for never leaving her alone.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason she was such a hot topic is because she was a woman, and she was a woman in power.
That's what she was. Yeah. Like,
yes, and this is why she was a target for these paparazzi.
All right. Are we done? Fine.
What?
All right.
I don't know why, because, like, you just keep saying it's the paparazzi, and I'm saying I know that, but it's because she's a woman. Like, that's what it boils down to.
All right.
I don't know why you're saying all right. I know it's a hard thing to talk about, but this is what else this thing was saying.
And I'm saying all right.
All right. And I'm saying you're the one saying it was the paparazzi.
Yeah, because it is also.
I know it's the paparazzi.
Because at the same time, they're the ones who are coming after her because they literally said she is the money shot. Yes, okay, she is a woman in power. She really represented that stuff. But at the time, it was like, okay, she was in the whole midst of all boy bands, and what she was? She was like a high school. She really hit me, baby, one more time. What was she? A high school girl.
She was the school
basically
girl.
That. So that's what they only saw her as, like, oh, she's supposed to be like the high school girl, the vulnerable, the one. They literally put like so much stereotypes on her. Because
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, when her and Timberlake got together with the football and the cheerleader.
But at the same time, us as a media, we are the ones at fault, and like the
that's what I'm
paparazzi
saying.
Well just as much because
that's what South Park said. Us as a society, this is our fault.
And that's why I'm saying it's also the paparazzi, not as much as her.
No, I'm not saying it's her fault because she's a woman. I'm saying it's their fault.
But I mean,
she was the target because she was a woman.
I'm not saying her, but I'm saying like the fact like it was her being like the sexual, like her being a woman and being her like that.
That's what.
But at the same time, she did represent that. But why? Why did she wanted to represent that? Because she wanted to, again, literally be a beacon of light for all those young girls that wanted to have that empowerment, and like that's what it was.
Plus, she just wanted to be herself.
Yeah, and then what happened? Literally, the media and the paparazzi took pictures, twisted the words, and said, "Oh no, she's just a whore.
She's a whore. She's a terrible mother. She's crazy."
That's what I'm saying. The paparazzis are at fault. That's it. I never said.
Well, it's not even the paparazzi. It's the whole media. Well, it's the whole society.
Well, yeah.
That's why I wanted to talk about the South Park thing. I know they bring that up, but they say at the end of the day, it's us as a society, because who watches these shows? Who buys these magazines?
At the end of the day, who makes? Yeah,
how do they make this money? We buy the magazines. Yeah. They make the money off the sales. That's where they make this money. That's what I'm saying. Like, this documentary is so powerful for a lot of reasons. Of course, I know it focused on Britney, but like, it's been opening up doors. I hear people talking about Amanda Bynes, talking about Lindsay Lohan. Like, we're talking about more people now. So this documentary not only shines this light on Britney, this toxic masculinity we have of women in the media and power, but it's opening doors that, like, we've treated other people badly.
Oh no, we've treated many
It was
people
not just
bad.
Britney, but I'm glad they came out with this.
But thank God, like, she was the one that she started this. Not started this, but like she was a. Not started.
She didn't start this, but she was the first one.
She was the first one. There
she
was
the
That's
first
what I'm
one.
trying to say. Like,
and then but they even say how she hang out with Paris and Lindsay Lohan, and they were under the scrutiny as well from the media. And I said I figure that's why they.
But they never got it as much as Britney.
Britney got it worse, but still, like Paris, those shots of her getting out of the car, you see her crotch. Lindsay Lohan, they're making it how like she looked cracked out, but the guy said you should be in rehab.
Kim Kardashian with the sex tape. Who in any of these like other interviewers did so bad all these questionings the same way that they did to Britney?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like that's the
remember that interview where the guy asked Lindsay Lohan why she wasn't in rehab? I forgot the name of the guy.
Oh yeah, but
that's still rude. Even if it's not sexual, like boobs and virginity.
But at the same
why
time,
would you don't ask somebody?
But
that.
I feel like in those different scenarios, she was like in a big live audience, and it was just like with all.
But she was uncomfortable.
Like, but what's the difference between? Okay, but that's the thing though. You have a whole audience where it's just literally like a ton of people, the person, the talk show person, and then you, compared to literally just the interviewer, who I don't remember the freaking person.
Diane Sawyer,
and Britney Spears. Like that's why I say like that's two different parts, because like it was just Diane and Britney, not literally how like Lindsay was. It was Lindsay, the other person, and then the whole crowd. Literally, that's a whole different thing. Right there, Lindsay had the whole opportunity where she could have, like, ping-ponged herself out of there, be like, I think it's time that we should talk about the movie or something else. Because that's what she basically was doing. She was like, diverting
that's what I mean.
Britney couldn't do shit because, like, the whole time, like, Diane Sawyer was, like,
yeah, she was crying and they kept that in.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could edit that out.
In.
Well, I mean, you could edit out Lindsay, too, but still. Oh, yeah. They kept that in. She was, like, crying, going, strong Britney. Yeah, like it's hard. Like, it's this is a hard thing to watch. Other than just seeing where Britney failed, even if... And like I said, you don't even have to be a Britney fan to understand why this is so terrible. You should just be a human being to see why this is terrible.
That's the part that gets me even more pissed
That's why
off.
I feel like
us as a society, us as human beings, we literally have basically killed her in a sense. Because,
in a sense, yeah.
We basically destroyed her life. We kept on putting her in the limelight. We kept on making all these things like she's a whore, she's this, she's that, she's whatnot. When she is just a human being, she has 2 kids, she's a mother. Like everybody doesn't understand. And then that's the part, like, even when you said it, like, you thought that you wouldn't be surprised, like, this is all happening when she was going through, like, the postpartum depression.
Yeah, that made it worse. A lot of people think she had postpartum, and that made it worse.
And the part that pisses me off
that can have long-lasting effects if you don't take care of it.
But nobody puts it on Britney saying that, oh, maybe she had postpartum depression.
It's like, she's crazy. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's what's sad.
That's the part that pisses me off. Is like she was a mother.
She was a mother trying to take care of her. There's a photo of her holding her baby at like a McDonald's, like crying. Yeah, and she had a baby. That's a baby.
Like that. She's literally a vulnerable. She was a young girl who had a baby, who wanted a baby, who wanted a
family.
The whole time, look at her interviews when she was young. She said that she just wanted to be humble,
have a husband, have kids, maybe do music on the side. She didn't want to do that forever. Yeah,
and the fact that everybody.
This is what we did to her. Look what we did to her. I feel like you don't have to be I'm not saying, let me reword this. Watch this documentary. Yeah. I don't care if you don't like Britney's music, if you don't listen to her, watch this. Because this makes such a comment on everything, not just Britney. Watch this. It's on Hulu. If you have Hulu, watch it. There's plenty of articles out there about it too. I'll list some in the comments that touch on the documentary. I know there's a New York Times one where they interviewed the people that made it. If you have Hulu, watch this. Like I said, you don't have to be a Britney fan. I think you should watch this. And like we said earlier, if you can handle that South Park episode, watch that South Park episode.
Honestly, I say, like, and this is my recommendation, please do watch if you watch the documentary. Not even if you could handle it. Like, if you could do it, congratulations, kudos to you.
I'm saying South Park because they get really intense.
But that's what I'm saying. No. But I'm saying it's like, if you watched the documentary of Framing Britney, and you are listening to this, please watch the episode of South Park with Britney Spears, because even just watching that and after like having that knowledge of like the Britney documentary, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, not even as like what we did to Britney, but like us as a community, us as like Americans and us as a people, like what we did to her is like completely foul.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So documentary A+, South Park episode specifically A+. We give it a grade because we give everything a grade, but watch it, please. Yeah, please watch this and think about things.
Because think of like the actions that you do to other people. Because this is basically saying like us as humans, we have an impact in other people's lives, and like your the smallest words matter in such big ways and hurt. Like, okay, yeah, like, and you may
say things we regret. We all say things we don't mean.
Don't care, and don't get me wrong, like, everybody will throw that stupid shit of sticks and stones bullshit, and that words will never hurt you. Words hurt you.
Words hurt.
Words will hurt you in a long run.
And you don't have to be Britney Spears to be scrutinized for things that Britney Spears has been scrutinized for. It's just she was in the public domain.
That's the thing, like, about her. Like, but it's...
Think about the choices you make every day, too, other than how this culture is wrong. Think about choices you make in your daily life, too. Because I know we're human, we make mistakes, but...
Our mistakes could cause other mistakes, so we have to be really careful.
Yeah. So, do you want to sign off, or... You want me to do it?
We need a break. Hold on. 2 seconds.
No.
I'm sorry, because after all this, I really just don't.
We're gonna go play video games now.
I don't even think I want to do another podcast for a bit, because this just, holy shit, that just really fucked me up.
Yeah, we're gonna do something lighter next few ones. The documentary I was talking about is Where the Slender Man. We'll get to that, but we're gonna do some lighter things for the next few, because this was intense researching, watching. So, good night, lovelies.
Yeah.
Do you want to say goodbye?
Good night, and I can't even say goodbye.
You want to say goodbye? We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time, because I can't even say it. Wow.
With something, we'll come back with some more lighthearted things before we get to something harsh again.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast.
Watch it.
I'm sorry for if we
this gets intense.
Sorry for the boiling of the bloods, but
yeah, I mean this was, we knew this was going to be an intense episode when we decided to do it. So,
but I'm because my blood is boiling.
My blood's boiling too.
I'm so heated right now.
I'm gonna go play Animal Crossing when we leave
right now.
Animal Crossing. Well, for me at least. You're gonna play your game.
I need something. I don't know. I need
All
something.
right, let's go talk to Tom.
Yeah, let's talk to our friend.
Let's go talk to Tom.
Okay, so thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments and everything.
Leave your comments, suggestions. We do have something in mind for next time, but if you think you have something very light, heartwarming,
or even if
put us in a good mood,
give us like little options. Because honestly, like don't get us wrong. Like
we have things we discussed, but we're open for suggestions.
So thank you for listening.
Catch you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And hurt. Like, okay, yeah, like, and you may
we all say things we regret. We all say things we don't mean.
Don't care, and I don't get me wrong. Like, everybody will throw that stupid shit of sticks and stones bullshit, and that words will never hurt you. Words hurt you.
Words hurt.
Words will hurt you in the long run.
And you don't have to be Britney Spears to be scrutinized for things that Britney Spears has been scrutinized for. It's just she was in the public domain.
That's the thing, like, about her. Like, but it's.
Think about the choices you make every day too. Other than how this culture is wrong. Think about choices you make in your daily life
real,
too.
Because
I know we're human, we make mistakes, but
our mistakes could cause other mistakes. Yeah. Like, so we have to be really careful.
Yeah. So, do you want to sign off, or you want me to do it?
We need a break. Hold on. 2 seconds.
No.
I'm sorry, because after all this, I really just don't. We're
gonna go play video games now.
I don't even think I want to do another podcast for a bit, because this just, holy shit, that just really fucked me up.
Yeah, we're gonna do something lighter for next few ones. The documentary I was talking about is Where the Slender Man. We'll get to that, but we're gonna do some lighter things for the next few, because this was intense researching, watching. So, good night, lovelies.
Yeah.
Do you want to say goodbye?
Good night, and I can't even say goodbye.
You want to say goodbye? We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time, because I can't even say it. Wow.
With something, we'll come back with some more lighthearted things before we get to something harsh again.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast.
Watch it.
I'm sorry for if we
this gets intense.
Sorry for the boiling of the bloods, but
yeah, I mean this was, we knew this was going to be an intense episode when we decided to do it. So,
but I'm because my blood is boiling.
My blood's boiling too.
I'm so heated right now.
I'm gonna go play Animal Crossing when we leave
right now.
Animal Crossing. Well, for me at least. You're gonna play your game.
I need something. I don't know. I need
something. Let's go talk to Tom.
Yeah, let's talk to our friend.
Let's go talk to Tom.
Okay, so thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments and everything.
Leave your comments, suggestions. We do have something in mind for next time, but if you think you have something very light, heartwarming,
or even if
put us in a good mood,
give us like little options. Because honestly, like, don't get us wrong. Like,
we have things we discussed, but we're open for suggestions.
So thank you for listening.
Catch you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.